Hey guys, and welcome to Relationship Chronicles. Today we have a cheating revenge story from one of my subscribers that I will walk you through with, and afterwards I'll give my opinion and advice to this subscriber on how to deal with this situation. Here we go. Me 24 male, wife 22 female, had an affair while I was away for work. We decided to move past it. Now she's pregnant and we can't agree how to proceed. Edit 2, update, I've spoken to a good friend and attorney about it this morning, and he has offered to represent me and work with me on cost. I've decided to move forward with initiating divorce. As I've said, I have forgiven her what she did. But I've also realized that forgiveness doesn't mean that it would be healthy for either of us to remain in the marriage. I can't raise this child. I don't blame the child, but I know that I would resent it every day. Even if my wife agreed to adoption, I know that she would resent me for pressuring her to do it. The fact is, she has made her choice emotionally. We both know what she wants the outcome to be, and the best thing I can do for both of us in the long term is to stick to my guns. If I'm able to get an annulment through the church, fantastic. If not, so be it. I've got a hard time believing that God will not forgive me for this. For now, my attorney has advised me not to tell my wife and instead to collect all evidence I have of the affair first. I'd like to believe that my wife wouldn't try to destroy the evidence, but given what has happened and what is at stake, I'm not going to take the chance. I'll speak to her sometime this week and will ask her to leave. Dad. Thank you to everyone for your replies. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can meet with an attorney tomorrow and find out what I need to do to ensure that I won't be financially responsible for the child. I expect that she will probably be angry and see this as some sort of power move to force her into adoption. It's clear to me that I could not be happy raising another man's child. It's just too much to ask. I plan to talk to her and tell her that while I forgive her for the adultery itself, the marriage is doomed. We're at an impasse where one of us has to lose in order for the other one to win. There is no half baby. It's all in or all out. Moreover, it isn't fair to deny the father's child a chance to know he is a father or the child a chance to know who his father is. I don't personally fault him for what happened. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. I question his morals in sleeping with a married woman, but it isn't as if he had any duty or pledged loyalty to me. It's my wife I should be angry with, if anything. I can't even manage that. I just want to get this over with and move forward. Thanks again, everyone. I guess I'm looking for advice just as much as a chance to vent. Sorry if this isn't the place for that. My wife and I have been married for 2 years, together for 4. I work on a river barge, so I spend about a month away from home at a time for work, followed by 2 weeks off. I've been doing this for the last year since I got laid off from my other job. I just got back from a job and found out that my wife has been having an affair with an old boyfriend that recently came back to town. I asked her how many times, and I wish I didn't. She said she wasn't sure and that it had been a continual thing. They started talking on Facebook a few months ago, but it had only been innocent catching up until this last time I left. This time, they agreed to meet up, and had basically been sleeping together all month while I was away. She said that she had planned to end it when I got back, and knew she had to come clean. She let me look at her Facebook message inbox and text messages for proof, and the messages were consistent with her story and timeline. My initial reaction was that the marriage was over. I felt betrayed, hurt, and didn't think I'd ever be able to trust her again. I worked my ass off so that she doesn't have to work while she's in school. I felt like being faithful was the least she could do for me. She knew what marriage meant to me long before we took our vows. Both of us are Catholics. We aren't perfect Catholics by a long shot, but we're deeply religious. I stressed to her that for me, marriage is a forever commitment. In sickness and in health, until death do us part, means something to me. I told her that I knew I wanted to be with her for the rest of my life, but only if she could promise me that she knew the same thing. I stayed at a friend's place for a few days and thought it over. First, I talked to our priest. Before we continue, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. He reminded me what I signed up for and believed in. Marriage is a forever commitment, and that means being able to forgive and work past problems. He recommended that for now, I find work closer to home so I can be with my wife, and that we seek marriage counseling either through the church or with a therapist. I also talked to some of the older guys I work with, and it kind of gave me some perspective. A lot of them had gone through the same thing. Some of their marriages survived, and a lot of them didn't. But all of them agreed that spending long periods away from home at a time can be rough on any marriage, but especially tough for young marriages. I understand that feeling constantly lonely and being by yourself in an empty house is hard. We talked, and she assured me that she loved me. She promised me that the affair meant nothing to her, that she just felt alone, and that she would cut off all contact with the guy. She understood that she would have to work to earn my trust back, agreed to give me access to her Facebook, and to check her phone randomly until I can trust her again. She also agreed to go to marriage counseling. On my end, I've agreed to find a local job so that I can be with her and focus on our marriage. We aren't having sex right now, and haven't since she came clean to me. I wanted to take it slow getting intimate again, and she has respected that. We've been kissing, cuddling, and sleeping in the same bed. More recently, she has been insisting on giving me hand jobs, which I'm okay with. She says she just wants to know that I still want her, and that she wants to please me. I do want her, and I appreciate her efforts. Still, no sex though. It's not her, it's me. I still find her attractive, but I think it's going to take at least a little while before I feel like having sex with her again. I guess I still feel grossed out by the prospect of it, like she's unclean or something. She understands how I feel, and is okay with it. She offered to let me cheat on her to get even, or get some physical release, but I declined. I don't want to screw somebody else. I want to be with my wife, and I just want things to go back to normal. 2 weeks later, we find out she's pregnant. Obviously, the other guy is the father. I'm the only person she has told so far. Being religious, abortion, off the bat, was off the table for us. I told her that I want her to put the baby up for adoption. I'm willing to forgive her and repair our marriage, and I can look past an awful lot. What I know that I cannot do is go through every day looking at a reminder of her infidelity and having this other guy intertwined in our lives in some capacity. I can't do it. I know that probably makes me a poor Christian, but I've got to believe that God understands that I'm not perfect and forgives me. She wants to keep the baby. She says that the other guy never has to know about it and that she understands that our marriage cannot survive with him in our lives. But her opinion is that it isn't the baby's fault. The baby didn't ask to be born out of an adulterous relationship, and that we would be unnecessarily causing the baby to suffer by putting it up for adoption. She also says that the baby is part of her, and that she would like me to be able to love and accept the child as a part of her instead of the other man. I understand where she is coming from, and I get that it would have to be terrible to carry a baby and have it growing inside of you for 9 months knowing that you've got to give it away as soon as it's born. But I can't do it. I really don't know what else to say. She has agreed to go talk to our priest about it with me, but regardless of what he says, I can't see either of us budging on it. My marriage might be over, and all I feel like doing is drinking until I pass out. I barely think about it, but we haven't even talked to our families about the infidelity yet, let alone the pregnancy. The whole thing is embarrassing, and I don't want the attention. I don't want people telling me that we're in their prayers, but judging our marriage and guessing how each of us failed. I just want it all to go away. Thank you for reading this. If anyone else has gone through something like this and has had their marriage survive, I'd love to hear from you. I could use some optimism about now. Told her. My wife had an affair while I was away for work. I decided to forgive her and felt like things were starting to look up. Then we found out she is pregnant. I wanted to give it up for adoption. She wants to keep it. And now I just feel lost and unable to deal with this. Let's move on to my thoughts and advice for the person that is dealing with this problem. It's heart-wrenching to navigate infidelity and the resulting pregnancy. Initially, the commitment to forgiveness and reconciliation showed profound strength and hope. However, the realization that forgiveness doesn't equate to the ability to healthily maintain the marriage is crucial. Choosing to divorce is a difficult but necessary step for both emotional and practical reasons. Raising another man's child would be a daily reminder of the betrayal, fostering resentment. This decision, though painful, respects the emotional realities and long-term well-being of all involved. Seeking legal advice and preparing for the next steps is a prudent move. I wish you the best of luck moving forward. Thank you all for taking the time to listen to today's stories. If you enjoyed listening, please feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, comment below with your thoughts on what happened. Take care.